Hi everyone. This video is geared for those who have osteoporosis or osteopenia, but anyone can do this workout. We're going to strengthen and mobilize our hips. We're going to work on core stability, working our back muscles, and also balance. Props we're going to use is a small overball. If you don't have one, you can also use a pillow, and hand weights. If you don't have hand weights, you can use water bottles or bean cans, and possibly a chair if you need to for the balance section. We're going to do some standing work, and then also we'll be getting down on our mat. All right, so let's get started. All right, so we're going to start standing with our feet together. And then we're going to open our toes a fist width apart and then rotate our heels then in line with our toes. So hip distance apart position with our feet. We're going to lift our toes off the mat and spread them as wide as you can, and then lower the toes down to the floor. Lift all 10 toes off the mat, spread them as wide as you can, and then lower the toes down. Try and have that sense of lengthening up through the spine. As we lift our toes, we want to keep in the center of our foot and then lower the toes down. Now you're going to claw your mat with your toes as if you're picking up a pencil. Lift your toes off the mat and then spread them wide, lower them down. Curling your toes as if you're picking up a pencil. So that really lifts up our arches. Lift the toes and lower them down. Curling the toes for that lovely lift of the arch. Lift your toes up and lower down. And we're going to keep our toes nice and long, flat on the floor. We ground our feet to the ball of the big toe, little toe in the center of the heel, and then we find that length up through the spine. From here, we're going to do a knee bend. So you start to sink your hips first, then the knees will follow. We sink down, and then we push into our feet and come up. We sink our hips a fraction before the knees bend. Your weight is on the middle of your foot. And then as you come up, you press up more into the heels. So as we bend our legs, we keep the torso upright as if your back is sliding up and down a wall. So resist to stick your bottom out. So just slide down, just go as far as you can. And then press up. We avoid the temptation of pushing our knees forward and tucking under the bottom as well. So just find that place where your pelvis just sits nice and in your neutral, and we just slide the back down and press into the feet. Now we're going to add on. So we're going to do a hinge here. So you're going to hinge around your hips, back staying long. Keep your knees bent. We bring our rib cage above our hips, and then we come back up to stand. Movement one, we slide our back down an imaginary wall. Keep the knees bent as we pivot around. We bring ourselves back, engage your tummy muscles a little bit, rib cage above the pelvis, and then press up. Slide down. Pivot those hips, widen those sitting bones, bring the rib cage above the pelvis and press up. Again, knee bend, pivot, coming back up. And now we're going to keep the legs nice and straight, and we're going to rise up onto the toes and then control the landing. We lift up onto the toes and control down. Now, if you're like me and got wobbly ankles, do less of a lift, or sometimes you can place the Pilates ball between your ankles to hold you more steady. Floating the heels up, lowering down. Now we're going to change the dynamic of the movement. So you're going to lift your heels up, but now you're going to drop heavy down into your heels. So you see I'm rebounding off the floor. Down, down, down. So it's a small lift, but a drop into the heels. So what we're doing is rebounding off the mat, and that builds up our bones. Boom, boom, da. So let's go for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going back to our hip hinge. So we're going to hinge our hips back and bend our knees. So the nice flat back position. You're going to lift one heel up and then stomp it down. Then the other heel. So again, rebounding from the floor, stomping those heels, building our bones. Now you can pick up the pace, keep it low, but keep those heels stompy. And then go quicker. Da, 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 da. Drop, 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 drop. Go as fast as you can for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming up and we stomp the feet. Nice stompy march. Picking those knees up. Bend the arms. Drive those elbows back. And we stomp and stomp. So if you ever want to think about an exercise to build up your bones, stomp around. Stomp around your house, down the avenue, up and down stairs, sideways on with stairs. Always good. And a little bit of heart rate going up as well. Let's go for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to pick up our hand weights. All right, now we're a little bit warmer. We're going to have our feet shoulder width apart, arms are straight, hands facing inwards. Grounding our feet, so again I like to pick up my toes and then lower them down nice and long. Our hips again are going to hinge back as we sink down and press up. Hinge the hips and up. Keeping your shoulders on your back so the arms just swing in a low diagonal line. Controlling the down and controlling the up by pressing your feet down into the mat. The hips start to move a fraction before the knees start to bend. So the joint you move first is the one you load the most. So we want to work through our hips. It's like you're putting something in a low oven, ready for Christmas. Hinging down and up and down. Tummy muscles gently drawing up and in. Watch the ribs aren't flaring forward. Keep that lovely long spine. And down. And up. And down. Let's do another 3, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to bring our hands by our chest, elbows slightly lifted, shoulders relaxed as we hinge down. Now we're going to do 5 pulses here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We come up to stand. And then we stay standing, lift the heels and drop. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's repeat. Hinge down, hold, pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Standing up. Lifting those heels, drop. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, hinge and we pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pressing up. Last heel drops. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower those arms and let's bring our feet into a wider position. So as wide as you feel comfortable, a little bit wider than shoulder width. You can have your toes parallel or a slight turn out. So we're going to work a little bit on balance now. So let's bring our hands up by our chest again. We're going to start with our hinge. Weight is centered on both feet. Come up through your center. Now you're going to shift your weight all the way to the right hip. And you keep your tippy toe on the floor. Lower the foot down, back to center. Hinge down. Stand up. Shift your weight to the left. Make sure that hip isn't poking out. So we lift up through that hip. Lower down. And squat down. Stand up. Shift to the right. Lower down. Hinge. Up. Shift to the left. And down. Up. To the right. Lower. Down. Up. Left. Now you can continue with that, but if you can, shift to the right, test the water, lift the toe up a little bit, lower it down. Down and up. Now make sure you've shifted your weight fully before you lift that toe, lower down. So just break it down slowly so you know you have stability when you lift your toe up. So we shift over, we're strong in that supporting leg, to lift and down. Now we're going to add on. Now feel free just to stay here in stillness and hold the counts, or lift your toe up a little bit and down. 5, 4, like you've got one leg to stand on. 3, 2, 1, lower it down. Hinge back, coming up. Shift to the left, hold in stillness, or lift your toe, tap it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And lower the foot down, lowering the arms down. Let's bring our feet into a Pilates V position. So that's just a fist width apart between your toes, heels together, wrapping your thighs all the way around, and feel your sit bones are coming together and lift. Going to bring our hands in front of us. Imagine your weights are really heavy, so there's resistance to pick them up. Elbows widen, and then you press down. Now if this bugs your shoulders, make it smaller. Just go to where you can. Keeping the ribs nice and relaxed as you lift and press. It's like you're pulling those weights up heavily from the ground and you're pushing them down. Pulling up with resistance and pushing down. Pulling up and pressing down. So you're smiling a little bit with the corners of your mouth and your collarbones. Pressing up, pulling down. Let's do 2 more. I like to think throughout these arm exercises, I'm going through water, slowing the movements down and adding resistance. Lovely. Now you're going to turn your palms up to the sky and bring your elbows in a bent position, 90 degrees, and the elbows are slightly away from the waist. We're going to rotate the forearms and back. Now make sure your movement's coming from the shoulder and your shoulder blade stays nice on your back. Ribs are soft, spine is long. So we're not just flinging our hands out to the side. The movement comes at the shoulder joint. Again, make it smaller if you have a shoulder issue. Just go to your range. Maybe take the weights away. Adding on here. So we're going to open. Now you're going to reach your arms on a diagonal as if you're offering your weights. Gently bring the elbows back and return to parallel. We rotate and reach and back and in and rotate. Offer those weights. Again, just go to where you can. We're keeping our neck lovely and free. So sometimes it's nice to move your head around a little bit to know we're not gripping in those neck muscles. Lovely. Let's do 1 more. And then we're going to straighten the arms. From here, turn your hands to face backwards to the wall behind you. Ribs are soft, but we open gently the collarbones. And now we're going to press our hands back as if you're pushing against water and release. We keep the ribs soft. On this movement, we're really prone to arch the back and pop those ribs forward. So just move back from the shoulder. Energy through those arms, keeping them long. And down. We're going to keep our arms back and just do a gentle head turn to the right. Just to check we're not gripping the neck into the left. Again to the right. And to the left. And back to center. Now as the arms swing forward, they're going to come a little bit more forward. We're going to hinge our hips back and make a little diamond shape with our knees over our toes. And then press back up and push your arms back. Reaching those arms, hinging at the hips. And press. Reaching. And press up. Reaching. And press up. Adding on. We hinge. And up. Now as the arms go back, you add a little heel raise. Float the heels down, hinge back, and up, and lift, and lower. Hinge, press up, push those arms, and down, and hinge, press up, reach back, one more, and lower. Lovely. Keeping your arms long, lift your heels and pivot them to a parallel position in line with your toes. Arms now face you, and we're going to keep our back nice and long. Again, we go back into our hinge and you reach your arms forward. Now we're going to stay here, reaching the sit bones long, grounding our feet. We're going to row, so you're going to pull your elbows back and straighten. So we're going to pull and straighten. Again, watch those ribs are prone to pop forward. So we relax the ribs, keeping that long spine. And for a further challenge, you sink deeper if you can into those legs. Now we're going to hold our elbows back, chin slightly tucked in so we keep the neck long, and we reach the forearms. And curl in, working those triceps, reach and curl. Slow the movement down. Imagine you're going through sticky toffee. And control. And reach. And control. Let's do two more if you got it. Last one. And come up strongly. Upwards. Well done. We're going to keep our arms long, stand nice and tall. Going to reach our arms out and down and reach, working the top of the shoulders, press down and up just to where you feel okay in your shoulders and neck, press down. Now we're going to turn the hands up and then turn the hands down. Turning the hands up. Turning the hands down and up and lower and up and down. One more. Up and down. Lovely. One more here. We're going to turn our hands forward, soften the elbows and bring your hands back a little bit. So we're going to scoop our arms up and down. So we're hinging at the shoulder. It's like we're scooping up autumn leaves in our arms. And you might find that when your arms lift higher, you've got to recruit more in your core to keep that length through your back. Now we're going to add on here. We're going to lift the arms, circle them back and down. We call this teardrop. Make it slow. If at any time you need to take your weights away, you can. Again, go to your range if you need to make it smaller. Elbow always slightly soft. We're just going this direction so you feel the lift and the open of the chest and down. Lovely. All right, so we're going to take one hand weight down, and now we're going to use our chair. So we're going to use the chair sideways on, and the leg nearest the chair is parallel. You step back with the other leg. I have my feet shoulder width apart. I'm on the ball of the back foot. The front foot is grounded. I'm hinging my hips back and tipping my body forward. I'm just going to hold my weight for now. So get the position that works for you. I'm going to start to bend my back knee, and then my front knee will react and we go down in a lunge. And then you press up, keeping in that little hinge position. So you're going to bend the back knee, lunge down. Try and feel that lovely hip opening. So squeeze into the glute, and then we press back up. Hinging down and up. Now, if you're feeling your knees, do as much as you can. Make it smaller. And if you really don't like doing a lunge, then you can always go back to just doing a hip hinge, keeping your legs strong. Let's do one more like this. And now we're going to add in the arm movement. So first lunge, you're going to swing your arm forward and down. Second lunge, the arm goes to the side and down. Again, forward and up and side and up. So forward and up and side and up. Now we're going to stay, if you can, in the lunge. We bring our arm forward. We stay here with our legs. The arm drops to the side, down and forward, and down to the side, down and forward, side. Can we do one more? Let's have a go. Side, and then hold. Can you bring your weight forward and step through, lowering the arm, and let's pedal the feet. When we do to one side, do to the other, swappy sides around. So other leg, forward, other foot back. Hinge back with your hips, lean the torso forward, shoulders relaxed. Here we go. So we're going to start with our back knee and press. Now one side can feel completely different. So just ease on in, go as low as you can. So this exercise is a preparation for when we come down onto the mat. So very important to practice this exercise as much as you can. Really functional movement. Great to strengthen our legs. Down. And then let's add in the arm. So you're going to reach and down to the side and up again and reach. Making sure your knees are in line with your toes. So every so often have a little look at that front leg and, if you can, the back one. One more time. And now we're going to hold in the lunge, swing the arm forward. Squeeze that back glute. You're going to lower the arm to the side, down and forward. Down to the side. Keep breathing and forward and down to the side, down, forward. One more if we got it. Well done. Hold. Transfer the weight, step through, lower the arms, pedal those feet. All right, we're going to bring our chair to the side of us, going to take the weight down, and we're going to go into some balance. Make sure your chair is pretty secure on the floor. If you don't have a chair, you can always improvise, go to a wall or use a mantelpiece. Going to bring our feet together. Now with balance, it's a good idea to focus your eyes on something to start with. Feet together, so we've narrowed our base of support. So already we're challenging our balance a little bit. We're going to lift our outside leg up and we hold. Checking we're really lifting out of that supporting hip side. Spine is long, hips feel level. And we're holding that position, grounding that supporting foot. Now, if this is okay, light touch on your chair. Maybe one finger. Maybe take your hand away. When you take your hand away, keep it by your chair so you can grab it. If we have our arm here, whoa, it's a long time to hold that chair. All right, so holding it there, and then you're going to do a little toe dip down and up for 5, 4. So you can always test the water with your hand. 3, 2, and 1. Hold. Now, if this is going okay, you can add in a turn of the head. Know the chair is there. And then lower the foot down. Well done. Pedal your feet. Your outside foot is going to go directly in front of your back foot. It's like you're standing on a tightrope. Okay, so the legs is pulled up. Your weight is in the center of your foot. All right. And there's a little gap between your heel and toe. Now, if you're feeling really wobbly, do a little side stepping out, widen your base of support. Okay, again, you can focus your eyes. Now, if this is going okay, you can take the arm or both arms off the chair. Know it's there if you need it. You can always hover your hand. Okay, if this is going well, hopefully it is, we add a head turn. To one side, then the other. Up to you how fast you turn your head. And if that went well, you center your head and maybe close your eyes for a second or two. Ooh. And then if they're closed, flicker them open, lower down. Well done. Let's change sides. We start with our one leg balance. So feet together, narrowing that base of support. And then we peel our outside leg up and we hold it there. Focusing your eyes, maybe lighten the touch on your chair, maybe taking your hand completely away, but know it's there if you need it. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we're going to add in a little toe dip and up. So the working leg, as I dip my toe, I still don't put any weight onto it. All my weight's on that supporting hip side. We're squeezing into that supporting glute a little bit and we're pushing into that foot. One more. And hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower. Then you're going to place that foot directly in front of the other one in our tightrope stance, standing nice and tall on both feet, straightening the legs. Feel that lift up through your center. Take the arm or arms away. One side can feel different. It's good to get a little bit of a wobble on. Now you can always do a little side step if you need. Now if this is going well, add in your head turn. Ooh. And if you're like me with super wobbly ankles, really good exercise, especially if you're on a soft mat. Makes it more challenging. All right, if that's going well with the head turn, bring your head to center and close your eyes. Ooh, oops. And then if it's not going well, open them. And then bring your feet parallel and lower your arms down. Going to take away the chair. And now we're going to go down to the mats. Well, actually, if you do need your chair, you can always bring it to the side of you and use your chair to assist you down, okay? Now we've done those lunges before, so that's the prep, like I said, to get down on our mat. So if you're feeling okay, hands on your hips, and you step forward with one leg you prefer to go down to the mat with. If you don't know what that is, don't think about it, and just step one leg forward. The body's made a decision for you. Then from there, you're going to go down into a lunge on your knee. Again, you can use your chair if you need to, or you can use your hands. Then you're going to come down onto your hands and knees, keeping the back long. So we're here and we're weight bearing. Then you're going to close the legs, lie on your hip, and lie all the way down on your side, keeping the back long. And then from here, just simply roll onto your back. Scooch into the center. And then we just bend up our knees and have our feet parallel. So here we are lying on our backs. The legs are bent up, the feet are hip distance apart, heels in line with the sit bones. Going to take your ball and place the ball between the inside thighs and really open up through the chest. The arms are long and active onto the floor and our feet. So like a drawbridge, you're going to bridge your hips straight off the mat and lower back down. Breathing out to lift, tummy muscles engage and lower back down. Lifting those hips and back down. Breathing out and down. So your hips just move up in one piece and down. And up and down. One more. Hold. Pull the pubic bone up just that little bit. Hug that ball into the midline. We're going to float our arms up and turn our hands in. Going to open the arms to the side just above the floor and then lift your arms back over your shoulders. We open the arms wide and then bring them back. Try not to let your hips drop down. You keep your hips up and lifted. Opening out, bringing them up one more time. Opening the arms out to the side, bringing those arms up. You're going to turn your palms back down to the floor, press those arms down and drawbridge your hips down to the mat. Well done. Give your legs a little shake out, a little roll side to side. We haven't quite finished yet with our bridging work. We're going to place the ball underneath one foot. We're going to place the other foot in line with it on the floor. Arms pressed down. Now, obviously we've got the challenge now of the ball. Press the ball down into the mat, and can you lift your hips up here and down? You might not go as far. Woo, trying to control that ball and lower. Take your time. Up and down and up and control down. Now if you can, keep up, and can you roll the ball a little bit forward without letting your hips drop, and roll back. Rolling forward. Tracking that foot forward and back as if you're drawing a straight line forward, straight line back, and then drop your hips down. From here, roll the ball forward, flexing the ankle. Reach the same arm back behind you. Find that lovely limb reach. Lift the arm, place it to the floor, roll the foot back. All right, change sides. Placing the ball on the other foot. Make sure the sole of the foot is right on top of that ball. Knees are in line with our hips. We're going to drawbridge our hips up and down and up and down. Try not to let that ball wobble side to side and lower. And we keep our hips as best we can level and down. Now we're going to hold the next one. And you're going to roll the ball a little bit forward and a little bit back. Core is engaged, back is long. Just a little roll, feeling that hamstring. One more. And then drop the hips straight down. Flex the ankle, roll the ball forward. Flex the foot, reach the same arm back. Soften that ribs, soften the back, lift the arm, roll it down, draw that knee in. Taking away the ball, closing the feet and legs together. We lift the arms and take them out to the side. Press the legs together. We're going to roll our hips to the right side, keeping your legs super glued together. So we're making a slope with our legs. Now push your below leg and come back. Just like you're going through water. We rotate to the other side, opening up through the chest and shoulders. Exhale, push your below leg into your top leg. And again, we rotate, knees one above the other. So we're making a slope with our knee, not a step. Bring it back. One more. Rotate. Don't go too far. Feel that control of the legs coming in. Good. Now for this one, you might need a little pillow underneath your tailbone. All right, so you're going to lift your legs up to tabletop position, knees above your hips, drawing your center in. We're going to reach our arms up to the sky. You're going to flex your feet. Now we're going to do the same side. The right leg is going to reach forward and the right arm is going to reach back. Keeping your back supported on the floor and then come back in. Change limbs, reach away and back. So we're not just letting our limbs just flop down. There's a sense of control. I'm drawing up the pelvic floor, the abdominals. Change legs and arms. And in. And reach. And in. One more. And then hug your knees into your chest. Flex the feet. Come back to that same position if you can. Now we do opposite. So right arm, left leg. And back. Then the opposite arm and leg reaches. Now it's a bit of a brain thing because when the arm and leg reaches away from the body, try not to move the other arm and leg. So maybe focus on the limbs that are not moving. They stay still as you reach the arm and leg away. Once more each side if you can. One more. Hold and hug your knees in. Pop one foot down, then the other, closing the legs, and we're going to roll onto one side. So I straighten my bottom arm. You can place a pillow, and we bring our legs in front of us in this tabletop position. Also, if you need to pop a little pillow underneath your waist to keep that sense of length and lift. Heels stay together. We're going to rotate the top knee up and down and up and down. So you want to think of keeping your back lovely and still as if it was aligned up against a wall. And the knee is reaching forward and up. It's doing a little arc. Up and down and up and down. Let's do two more. On the next one, we hold and lower halfway and up. So we're getting that full range as much as we can in the hip joint. Press the heels together. 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the leg down. Now the bottom leg pushes into the floor. The top leg is going to lift just a parallel, so your kneecap looks forward and lower down. Up and down. You're keeping your hips stacking, one above the other, and that lovely length through the waist. Do as many as you can. Rest at any time. To make this a little bit more challenging, you can also add an ankle weight. Always good to load up, especially when we're strengthening our bones. Load up those muscles. 2 more. Last one. Then you're going to hold it there. fold in your hip but lengthen your sit bone. Then we're going to kick our leg out to the side, strongly opening up the hip joint. Fold back in, keep the leg up. Exhale, push like you're pressing into a heavy wall. Inhale. Exhale, press with resistance. Bend. And push. And bend. And press. Bend. And push. And bend. And press. Good. Bend the leg, lower the leg down. Now we're going to straighten both legs now, so we're balancing on the side of our body. We're going to lift the top leg up and down. Lifting our waist and down. Reaching the leg and down. 2 more. Now on the last one, you're going to keep the leg up and we're going to float the arm. So it should feel a little bit of a challenge for our balance. The arm is just going to float in front of us just off the floor, and then we float it back up. So we're working hard not to topple over. Floating the arm with control. Slowly work. Slowly up. Slowly down. Slowly up. 1 more. Slowly down. And up. And lower the arm and leg down. From here, you're going to bend the legs again. Lift your top leg, stretch the leg to the side, lift your arm up. Now we're going to reach the arm and the leg back behind us. Then the leg swings forward and you open your chest. Point the foot, we sweep, and there's a sense of lengthening the body. And rotate. Swing. And open, and swing, and open. And then coming back to lie on your side. Then you're going to push yourself up, and we're going to come up onto our hands and knees before we do side 2. So you're going to allow your legs to close and have your hands shoulder width apart just in front of the shoulders. The leg you've had on top, you're going to slide it back behind you, and you're just weight bearing on your tippy toe. Keep your shoulders square on, but stretch that arm so you're on your fingertip. We're never overstretching our joints. Everything is plugged in to the sockets. You're going to lift your arm and leg up at the same time and tap it down. Breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. So we're trying to lift up through the abdominals. The head is higher than the heart. Just a little tap. Now can we hold it here and balance for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower everything down. Let's roll on to side 2 now. Grab a pillow if you need. We're going to bring our legs up in front in that tabletop position. Ankles are flexed, hips are stacking. We're going to rotate the knee and down and up and down. Breathing out and down. No movement in your lower back, all from the hip joint. And lower. Rotate and down and up and down. Let's do 2 more. And on the last one, you're going to hold, drop down halfway and up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Lower the leg. We're going to press the bottom leg into the floor strongly, lift the top leg, and lower it down, keeping your kneecap facing forward. So watch we don't cock up the leg, the foot. It's the whole leg lifting up and down in that parallel position. Good. Let's do 3 more. 3 and 2. On the last one, we're going to hold. Going to fold the knee closer to your chest and then push the leg away. Fold in and press. Fold in and push. Like you're kicking a heavy wall down, pressing away. Fold in at the hip and kick. Fold in and kick. One more. Fold and kick. And then let go of the leg, lower it down and stretch both legs now. So the ankles are flexed. Try and lengthen that spine. So stacking the hips, so they should feel a little bouncy to lift your top leg and down. My below leg is pushing down into the floor, finding length of the waist, reaching that top leg and down and up and down with control. 2 more like this. On the last one, you're going to keep the leg up and we're going to float that top arm. You're going to lower the arms slowly down, just very slowly, and then float back up. Floating the arm and up. Float the arm and up. Floating down, floating up and down and up. And then you're going to lower the leg and rest your arm down. Bend the legs in front of you. Stretch the leg to the side. Arm reaches up. We're going to reach on the diagonal. Arm reaches forward, leg back. And we swing the leg forward, twist the arm. Reaching over. And then open. So we're getting that beautiful spiraling movement with the body. One more. And close. Come back onto all fours. Hands shoulder width apart, head higher than your heart. Legs together. And then you're going to slide the leg just head on top behind you, just resting on your tippy toe. The opposite arm reaches on the fingertip. Again, we're plugging our joints. We're going to lift up, tip down and up. I'm going into my Christmas tree, but that's okay. One more, and then we're going to hold it here and hold the balance for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And rest down. Now we're going to lie prone onto our fronts. If you need a little pillow for your forehead, just place one here. The legs are long and reaching behind us, and our hands are flat to the ground in a grasshopper position. You can always just adjust your hands a little bit wider if needed. Shoulders relaxing down your back. So we're going to hover our hands off the mat. And then you're going to hover your head just off the floor. You're looking down, the neck is long. Lower your head down and then your hands. We hover our hands, shoulders down. You float your head off the floor, but keep looking at the floor. Head goes down, hands go down. Hands float up, head floats up, head goes down, hands go down. Going to add on Hands float up, head floats up. Now if you can, place your hands on the ground, tip your elbows back slightly and lift your chest up. And then roll all the way down to the floor. Again, hands float, head floats. Head floats down, and then the hands float, head floats, head down, hands down. Now we're going to add in that little back extension. So hands float, heads float. Now place your hands down, tip your elbows and reach your chest forward. Now as you lower your chest down, you're going to slide your hands back and stretch your arms. Turn your hands to face your legs and open the chest. We reach the limbs behind us. We press the hips down as you lift your chest up. And let's get those arms to press into the side of the body, feeling the work in the arms, feeling that long line. Turn your head to one side and relax all the way down. Just flop over. Then you stretch your legs, arms, bring the shoulders on the back. You lift up here with your head turned, center the head, squeeze those arms, turn your head to the other side, and then roll all the way down. Relax. One more. We stretch the legs, the arms, park the shoulders on your back, lift up with your head turned, center your head now like you're a dart shooting through the sky, and then relax your forehead down. Bring your hands by your shoulder blades, lift yourself up and back and sink down. Coming up onto all fours into a cat stretch. This is okay if you have osteoporosis because it's non-loaded flexion. Breathe in. You're going to round your spine. Now make sure you're pulling gently in your tummy muscles. The head drops and the tail curls. And then lengthen. Again, rounding the back. If you can, push your knees and shins into the floor. And release. Exhale. Curl. And release. Now staying here in this long position with your back, tuck your toes if you can. Breathe in and then lift your knees slightly off the mat. And down. Exhale. Inhale. As you lift your knees, draw up and in your abdominals. So good to weight bear. Builds up our resistance, stresses out the body. One more. And down. Walk your hands to your knees, hinge your spine up and give your wrists a little circle, your shoulders a little circle. Good. And then we're going to come to a sitting position. So if you like to sit on a block or even a chair, you can. So actually, let's bring our legs in front of us. Give your hips a little tapping. And then just sit in a nice comfortable position, whether it's a frog or cross-legged. And just lengthen your spine, dropping your shoulders down, taking a breath in through your nostrils and a breath out, breathing in and breathing out. And thank you for joining me, and I'll see you all soon.